Hey everybody, welcome to Shutitdownboys. It's a podcast where me and the gang get together after a long, hard shafting of a 24-hour shift, dressed like Mario, and talk about life, both outside of and at the fire station. Next to me, I got old Tubbs wearing a gas station t-shirt and a free hat, as usual.
It is a gas station t-shirt.
Yeah.
It is a free hat.
My wife said it perfectly. You look like Mario this morning with your mustache, your red
All right. It's a me, a Mario.
yeah, the red shirt and blue pants that you've worn for a couple of days in a row.
I watched it yesterday.
Okay, sure.
I watched it yesterday.
On overtime. And then next to him, this is the first time we've ever had a guest on the show.
First guest.
This is Cody Schroeder, firefighter, survivor,
right?
Candy eater.
Multiple.
I don't know. Yeah. What else do we define Schroeder? Maniac. So we actually have our first guest on. This is going to be an interesting one. And then in the dark corner, Tim is in Washington picking up some pale broads in the forest.
Yeah.
And so we have old Stew Man group in the corner.
I'm here filling in for Tim.
Wearing his, what is that, Oak Lawn?
Oak Lawn, we represent Oak Lawn.
Oak
Yeah.
Lawn, shout out to those guys.
Nick,
what's his
all
name?
them guys.
Nick.
Was it
Yeah.
Nick that worked for Oak Lawn?
No.
Nick,
It was
and,
Andrew?
Andrew.
Nick and
and
Andrew.
Sorry,
yeah, just in their
Sorry,
massage chairs in Oak Lawn. Schroeder, these guys told us about their fire station.
They have
Here.
massage
Where's Oak Lawn?
chairs.
Where's
It's in-
Oak Lawn at?
Chicago.
Right
Oh, you
outside
got
Chicago.
to choke up
South
on the mic,
of
too.
Chicago, right?
A fist
I believe.
length
Okay.
away.
Yeah, they have to get in the sauna after every fire. They have saunas.
It's like an SOG.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to purify their
Yeah.
cell.
And they have massage chairs in the station.
I mean, we do that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
No. They also don't pay for coffee or internet.
Yeah.
No other fire stations except for maybe volunteers. They probably don't even pay
No.
for it. But
No, it's free
Yeah.
for the volunteers.
Yeah.
is it? Makes sense.
It's donated.
I could see it. Yeah, they donated a couple LBs to some of those boys too out there, man, in the
I think their
forest.
community just loves their firefighters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could see that. They really support them.
Hey, our community loves us.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, they totally.
They just showed it in a different
They
way.
do hate the cops, though. Dude.
Yes.
One of them got a little tuned up yesterday.
Yeah, man.
Don't shoot at the cops while the
Yeah.
firefighters are trying to put
Yeah.
out the fire.
Dude, we pulled up to that scene with smoke still rolling down the street, and that cop was like, "Yeah, I got kind of a headache," and we were like, "I bet you do, dude."
From getting shot?
Yeah.
It's lodged in the side of his head.
Oh, he
you
got
know?
shot in the head?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
They said it was like non-life threatening. That seems pretty life-threatening.
They downplayed it. This guy was
Boy,
like,
that the news crew in our town, they really love to downplay some things.
it was funny because when we got there, I didn't even know who got shot.
Yeah.
The guy couldn't have even told who the hell it was.
Yeah, I talked to Terrio this morning on the way here.
Oh, yeah,
And he
yeah.
was like, and he was command at the fire. And he was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you hear like one gunshot,
Yeah.
you start looking around because it's fairly normal for our
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he said he heard like 8.
I heard they unloaded on it.
Oh,
man.
yeah. It's usually not fireworks in our city. Even on New Year's, it's generally a large caliber rifle shooting into the air or at the police officers.
Yep.
Good times. But you guys are probably wondering why we have a guest here. Who is this guy? The audacity of him to come onto our podcast. This is Cody Schroeder. He's been with our department for. We never say the name of our department.
Right.
People
Yeah.
know. We also don't. You can't say the R word.
Maybe your union rep that day was like, do not do certain things.
Yeah, I could
Yes,
see that.
he
Yeah,
was.
Yeah. I could see that. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
You were there.
Yeah, I was there.
So Cody's been with the department for
Almost 25 years.
25 years. He was a firefighter for
16.
16 of them, promoted briefly. Yeah. And here we are. So that's a lot of
A lot of years.
years.
Most, I don't think we have a lot of firemen now with that many years of service.
No, they don't. They
That were
promote
firefighters. For
They
that
were
long,
firefighters that
right?
long? No, not at all. And you were at busy ass stations. You were
Yeah.
at Station 10 for
9 years.
9 years,
Yeah.
which
9
is
years.
one of the busiest. Those guys all really suck, but it
Yeah.
is a very busy station.
It's very busy.
Very crotchety. Oh, God, absolute dick.
Yeah.
That's the first time I met you. Was
Yeah.
at Station 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see him in the morning. Got you, motherfucker.
I was gonna say, when y'all hear us talk about some guy all the time that's going, we're talking about this guy.
This guy.
So,
This
Yeah,
guy.
yeah.
Probably one of the biggest characters at our department.
I would say so. Yeah, yeah.
Anyone who gets hired at our department, they generally find out about Schroeder within, I don't know.
Most of the time because he calls him a motherfucker.
Yeah.
yeah, which is how it should be done. All
And
right.
yet, the bad part is it's not as fun anymore because now they're on a med unit and I feel bad sometimes.
yeah.
And I've never really felt bad. I'm like, man,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
it sucks to be you.
I got you. I'll relieve you. Here's a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Here's a cup of coffee. You throw the port
Yeah,
on the
you're a
ground.
lot nicer
I am.
nowadays. Now
Yeah.
He's got a kid. He's 50 and he's got a
Yeah,
child.
that's close.
When I
It's
hired in, I got cussed every day.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, me too.
So,
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I
I
have a
mean-
huge list of old school versus new school that we'll do on the next
Next one,
episode.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Check out the Patreon for that.
Yeah.
So Schroeder is unfortunately most known for he was in a fire, and it was a very bad situation. I kind of read over it yesterday.
Yeah.
They were real. They called it instead of a flashover, they were like the fire flashed back 3 times, which I don't know if that's an
Yeah.
old school term.
No, that's made up.
That's okay.
not
The
a real
news was
thing.
wrong. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
But it was, what was the year?
07.
So this is
It was-
2007.
Yep. December of 07.
December of 07. And you guys have probably seen, they've released the video to
Yeah.
lots of departments.
Right.
Schroeder's done you've done training on it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, we and I talked to the guys in Houston right after it happened, right? And then their training captain, he does his own little thing, and he'll call me every few years and is like, "Hey, you mind if I use your story?"
Yeah.
So
What's this training captain's name?
I
No,
don't,
can't remember.
I'll think about it. I just got off
Roger.
like
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's off
Yeah.
of 48.
Yeah, it's
except me. I was sleeping.
yeah, you was sleeping at home.
Yeah.
But
Too bad.
yeah, I mean, I was permanent at ones back then.
Yes.
So-
Okay. So I remember I heard a lot of misinformation about the fire as far as because that was a few years ago,
Yeah.
and how we all know how firefighters are.
Right.
Were you supposed to be at that fire?
Yes.
Okay.
So I would have been at the fire regardless.
Yes.
The problem is when they turned the structure fire in, they turned it on. I think it was something like
they did the wrong address.
2400 block of North MLK.
Okay.
So it was up by Calder area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we come out the station, I mean it's 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Beautiful day, right?
Yeah, it was great.
Perfect
Nothing
day.
better than early morning
50
fire.
It was 55 degrees outside,
man.
sunny.
I literally heard the tones and was like, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
I remember like that morning.
How
Right.
new were you?
I was a couple years in.
Okay,
Yeah,
a couple years, okay.
Yeah, so
Still
No.
wet behind the ears
yeah.
too.
But
Yeah.
I just it's funny because I remember hearing tones and thinking, well, I'm not going to that. I'm going
Yeah, yeah.
home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
I was in
for-
Guam in a strip club, probably. Yeah.
I was probably going to
Anyway,
grade school.
let's hear
Anyways.
it.
You were,
So
knocking, you were knocking up your high school girlfriend.
Yeah.
I wasn't there yet. I had a couple years.
He was still in middle school
Okay.
at that
I was
point.
still in
That's
middle
true.
school.
Okay, so 2008, fire tones out. The address was wrong.
Right. They reported as north. Okay.
North, okay.
And everybody knows how it split cities, north to south.
Yep.
So as we come out, we got a big dip in MLK. We start going north, and you hear Engine 11 over the radio. Engine 11 headquarters, we got heavy smoke
Yep.
in front of their station, which is 50 blocks different.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So we just bust a U-turn, dead in the middle of the highway, head back down, and it's at a dead-end street. You can only get to it from the avenues.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no other way to get there.
Yep.
So they cancel multiple engines from the north, and then they send 3s and 11s.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
So
11
ones, threes, 11s,
Right.
7s.
Yes, 7s is still coming, but we only sent 3 engines then.
Oh, that was
So it was,
okay.
So it was 3s, 1s, truck 1, engine 11,
And still
one-
three-man engines.
Yes,
Okay.
one Chiefs car.
Yep.
That's it.
Oh.
Different
No
time.
med unit?
Different times. No
Yeah.
med unit. Yeah, but they always sent them. But
I think it was-
before we took them over, I didn't
think it
actually
was-
pay attention
Yeah,
if they were there.
Yeah.
I think
I
it was-
mean,
The good old
It was
days.
a little bit of hit or miss back then.
Sure.
Depends on if they were level 0, right?
yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, we pull up right behind 11s. 11s is stretching a line. My captain, who honestly don't even remember who it was.
I looked at the report. Was it Schmerier or
Julian.
Julian? Okay, yeah. And then Kirk was driving.
No. Mike Pierre was driving.
Mike Pierre was driving. Okay,
Mike
okay.
Pierre was still there.
Where was Kirk?
Kirk and Jeff Neeson were on truck one.
Truck one. Okay.
Right.
Oh shoot.
And Billy Webb was in Calvin. We're on engine 11.
Yes. Okay.
And
So Webb was the fireman on that one.
yeah, Webb was the back end man.
Okay. So we're pulling a line.
Or maybe Neeson was, I don't remember. Wherever Neeson came from, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't think he may have been at 3. I don't know.
No, he was truck one. I just talked to him.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
talked
he
to
was
him
truck
about
one, Jimmy the Bee too.
Nice.
I think we may have had 3 people on the truck.
Okay. That's
Right.
a good day.
Back in the
Yeah,
good old
Back in
because
the day.
Yeah.
Had
Jimmy was
cash.
there, right? And me and Jimmy were permanent at the station back then.
Yes.
And we were both grade 1s. So yeah, I get out, I look, they're going in.
Yeah.
I just jumped in with 11's crew, right?
Did
Right.
Jimmy have the same shape of body that he has now?
Jimmy has looked exactly the same. Jimmy,
Shout out to you, Jimmy.
yeah. So Jimmy hired on 6 months before I did.
Boy, he had it rough. I'm
Apple
sure.
Fire's
And-
jeans, man.
But you know, we always say when you come in a rookie class, you just need to be better than the other person.
Yes. Yeah.
And the guy he
That
hired
was-
only was fired within 9 months. So Jimmy was doing great.
He's on cloud.
Shout
nine,
out to you,
dude.
Jimmy. I love you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stands the reason he was kind of semi-permanent at once,
Yeah.
right?
So you jump
Yeah.
in with 11's crew.
Right.
And it's not a large house.
It's probably 1,500 square foot,
Yeah, okay.
14.
Shotgun
Okay.
style.
Shotgun style.
Yep.
Pier and beam. Mm-hmm. Your normal, typical
It looks like
avenues fire.
It looks like a normal house on fire. You're jumping in
Okay.
with 11's.
And
South
the
Park.
initial report, the biggest thing is en route, they're like, possible people trapped,
Okay.
grandmother and kids.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So everyone's
So you kind of throw everything out, right?
Yeah.
You know, like that makes it a little bit different.
Game time, yeah.
So when they're going in, I go right in. There's 2 cars parked in the driveway.
Mm-hmm.
You figure
someone's
it's
home?
like a Thursday or whatever day of the week.
Yeah.
So they get in, and it was an odd-shaped home. Right? You know, you never go in. When we go in, it's a hit or miss game, right?
Sure.
How it
Yeah.
kind of works. You know, the open concept was not a thing when they built
No.
them houses.
No.
It's a lot of
Hell
small
no.
rooms, you know,
Yeah.
double doors and stuff like that.
Weird add-ons and shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So as we go in, it's not hot. That was the biggest thing, right? My big takeaway, even when we talked about it afterwards, go in, it's your normal house fire.
Interesting. Okay.
It's smoky, but
not hot.
and the
Okay.
heat, and it is.
Could you see like what had this?
Yeah.
Had it banked down?
It
all
was.
the way?
It was. I could see probably 4 to 5 feet of visibility, so that's
Okay.
that's a lot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, in all honesty, we teach all the rookies you crawl. I ain't crawling.
No.
Ever.
Yeah.
No,
Right, I ain't crawling.
Let's be
Yeah.
honest. We ain't
Until
crawling. Yeah.
until
you
it
need
gets
to.
so hot,
Yeah.
you have to crawl.
You're down bad if it's
Yeah.
if you're
Yeah.
crawling. Man.
Right.
Yeah.
and, You know, if we're searching under a bed.
Sure,
but
sure,
other
sure.
than that, I'm walking.
So
Yeah.
normal visibility for a structural fire.
Right.
You would say
Nothing
Yeah.
too crazy.
Yeah. On paper, it's a normal fire.
It is, and it
Yeah.
still is.
Yeah.
We make it all the way to the back of the house, right? Through a kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
down a hallway, back bedroom. Got fire above us, put a little bit of water on it,
Mm-hmm.
it blacks it out, and then we know what happens, right?
You had the hose at
Yes.
this point. Okay.
Yeah.
Just
So it
burning,
was-
Yeah.
Calvin was looking, and me and Webb were on the line.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm on the nozzle.
Way to
It's up
find
above us. Put up a little fire. You know, it's now it banks down, right?
Yeah.
Then you feel a little heat.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and having to look out the back door because it is right next to us.
Uh-huh.
There's a 350 engine block in front of the door.
Oh, of
shit.
course.
I mean, you know,
It's
Perfect
there's,
place to put
there's-
an engine
South
prop.
there's-
Park.
Damn it, Stu.
Oh shit. Yeah.
There, you
There-
get. You're good.
Market.
I'll
Yeah.
get.
Sorry.
there's lawnmowers. You know, just stuff, right? You're normal. They had oxygen bottles. It was just a weird thing that you don't. Honestly, I would say it was shocking, but
Yeah.
it's not.
Standard issue.
So we whip the nozzle around, we get it knocked out. Now we're like, okay. And at this point, we ain't been in there maybe 5 minutes, right?
Okay.
So it's up,
Shit. Okay.
right? It's not that long. We find the fire.
Yeah.
We know it's above us. Neeson comes in. At this point, it's Jimmy, Kirk, Neeson, me, Calvin, Webb, right?
Okay.
6 of us.
Jeez.
Seven of us.
Seven.
A whole
guys.
squad in there.
Well, somebody's trapped.
Okay.
They're doing search,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
checking bedrooms
Yep.
and all that, right? The truck
Yeah.
crew doing truck stuff.
Sure.
Wow. You know, it's
Yeah. Imagine that.
doing truck stuff.
What's that?
Right?
All they do is post Instagram videos these days.
Yeah.
Them working out shirtless.
Okay.
Truck boys getting after it again.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So,
dickheads.
yeah, at that point, when Neeson comes in, he's hollering,
Sure.
"Get out!" We're in the back. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, well, what's going on?
Yeah.
So we don't.
Because you can't see. You
Well, at that point, it's pretty getting smoky.
Yeah.
Okay, but still, it's nothing that changed my feeling about
Yeah.
the house fire.
Yeah.
Right? Like it.
No alarms are going off.
I'm not burning.
Yeah.
Right. Like
You're still standing up.
still standing up.
Yeah.
I got the nozzle. We're easing out the house because something went wrong. Because at the time I just turned 27. I'm like, why are they pulling us out of the house?
Yeah.
We make it into that weird living room area, and halfway between the kitchen and the living room, it is black to the ground.
Oh, shit.
And it is. It ends up when we get close, it is black, and you start seeing the fingers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now it's hot,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
It gets instantly hot, and then as soon as it banks down, it's your typical that you always hear about. It flashes.
Yeah.
Boom, right above us. And when it does, I'm number like 7, right?
You're very bad.
And every fireman has a plan until you get lit on fire. Is what I like to say, right? Until you actually get lit on fire, and then
Yeah. All you boys making videos on the internet of what to do.
what to do. And it is. It comes down to everybody's ahead of me. The nozzle gets jerked out because it's honestly chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Everyone's
Everybody's headed to a door that's the size. It's
Yeah.
a normal door.
Yeah.
We'll try to put the video up, but the video shows I don't know if it has audio, but
I don't think so.
horn, Did you hear a horn honking ever? Because that's
No.
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 Yeah.
He was too worried
That's-
about burning his ass
that's
off
right,
at
yeah.
the time.
And so at that point, my first instinct, right? I'm stuck number 7, right? Calvin's next to me.
Oh, you're the damn caboose, man.
Yeah, I mean, you're on the nozzle. Everybody else is kind of
Yeah.
headed out. And at
That's
that point,
that's your lifeline.
Now,
right?
how far, just for reference, are you from the exit of the door?
16 feet,
16
20 feet.
That's crazy.
Not
Okay.
that far.
Yeah, that's
But-
crazy.
First thing I think, and when it flashes, I look straight to my left. There's a window.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm out. Right? I'm out.
Sure.
Take off running, dive out the window, hit burglar bars, fall back in the house. Right?
Holy shit.
Never
course, dude.
even paid attention
No.
to burglar bars or any of that stuff because
Yeah.
I had a lot of other things on my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, tunnel vision.
Yeah.
It.
Well,
Yeah.
also trapped victims.
Trap kids.
Yeah.
I wasn't
Yeah.
really that worried about it.
And you're not doing a 360 of the house. That's the captain's job.
Yeah, or the chief that was on scene.
Or
Yeah.
the safety guy. Hey,
We didn't have safety guys then.
Oh, there was just one chief.
Yes.
Back then, there was no. Yeah,
There was
A
no
lot of-
safety.
A lot of things changed
After
this
that,
fire.
after this
Yeah,
fire,
of course.
things changed, right? And as they should.
They should, yeah.
Yeah.
So at that point, I kind of stand back up and I'm like, hey, I'm in not the nicest part of the neighborhood. These burglar bars probably ain't that.
Hard
Yeah.
to take
So
off.
all I do is put my helmet down, put my shoulder down, and I run into it again.
Oh, jeez.
Okay?
Yeah.
I mean,
You got to do something.
I committed to
The
that
window,
I
right?
committed.
And
And,
it's because
that was your way out.
that was my way out.
because
And
it's that hot in there?
oh, it was getting there.
Yeah, it's getting
It
there.
was
Okay.
getting there. It wasn't yet
And
because
at this point, you've lost the nozzle, correct?
yeah, the nozzle done got jerked out
Yeah.
and if you get to see the video,
Yeah.
a piece of trim fell, burn a hole in it.
Oh, shit.
Oh,
Okay,
shit.
So
it's
so now
burned
you
through.
lost pressure.
Yeah.
which it still would have been better than nothing.
Sure, sure.
But at that point, I'm back in the house, and now I'm kind of confused on where I was at, right? And it is roaring,
Yeah.
right? So at that point is when I get all the way down, right, and start crawling,
Yeah.
because the training is important for real.
Of course.
But it was instinct. It's like left hand, I know where I'm going. I'm the closest to the wall.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
as I start moving, there's furniture and
Of
end
course,
tables.
everything.
And now it's roaring above me.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's getting hot.
Yeah.
Okay. But the only thing that burned and the only thing that got truly hot was my right calf.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, man, this
Of all places.
of all
Yeah.
places, nothing else, right?
That's wild.
So
man.
as I look up, I can, and I stayed conscious too. And as I look up, you can't see anything but fire. So I put my mask on the ground because you could feel the heat
Sure.
coming through my mask. So, in all the things, is this why my whole right arm's burnt? I slide my right arm over my
you.
mask.
Okay.
Show
Right.
them your arm.
Yeah.
Kinda-
So
yeah.
you saw I slide my whole right arm over my mask. Okay.
Yeah.
Got gear on. I actually even had a hood on. It was a wild
Nice.
day, right?
Had my mask on, my hood on. Crazy.
He told me that shit when he was like, yeah.
Honestly, back then, some guys didn't wear hoods, man.
Which
They
is
didn't wear
nuts.
hoods.
Yeah, because when
I mean,
I was coming up, there was no.
They-
it was just like,
well, they-
no, you
dude,
wear.
The
you
thing
wear.
was is if you felt the heat on your ears without wearing the hood,
Yeah.
then you knew it was getting hot, right?
Right.
Strutter? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that
I
was
mean,
your cue. But so
it
some
was-
guys didn't wear them back then.
Yeah, I mean, I'd forget a lot.
Sure.
I still do. Like every now and then, I'm like,
You see people in a fire. You're like, hey,
Say-
put your- yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, buddy.
oh yeah, that's usually they're like, where's your hood? I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's gone.
In the engine.
I
Maybe.
left that thing, man.
What's a hood?
Yeah,
We still wearing those?
yeah. In left glove usually. Don't have that on either.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's just a
Yeah.
So-
I got my techniques, chief.
yeah, like it's this less things I think about.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so at that point, it's flashing. I stop.
Yeah.
I end up having to stop. Like it was hot, and I'm trying to get away from the fire.
Yeah.
So whatever it was on that side, I kind of get underneath it, right? And it's
Okay.
kind of and everything's coming over me. And at that point, I shatter the window. So what does that do? You got
It
fire
just-
going out front
venting
door,
straight out,
But at that point, all the windows are busted,
Sure.
right? They blow out.
It's
and
already flashed at
It's
this
already
point.
flashed, and it's blowed out all the windows.
Yeah.
And there's front door, big, huge front window, and the left window I'm at.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And when the video gets uploaded to the photos, you'll see I am not 12 foot, 14 foot at that point from the front door.
No, you're close.
Yeah.
Right
so it dies down. I can hear water getting put in.
Nice.
Right. And it's steaming me, but it's better.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I am trying to get my radio out. Okay. Trying to get my radio.
Then, y'all, we didn't have like you put your radio in the pocket.
It wasn't waterproof
but there
or
was
anything.
no.
Yeah.
There was no lapel. Like you literally had to get your radio out.
Yes.
His probably wasn't even fucking on either.
So y'all
Yeah.
didn't. Y'all didn't.
Definitely
There
not.
was no lapel mic like
Yeah.
we have now.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, and I'm a big proponent of when you're going in and there's 7 people and everybody's radio's turned up.
I know.
Yeah.
Turn it
I know.
down. Yeah.
Mine was turned off.
Yeah, of course.
I never even turned it on.
Of course.
You know, so
Alligan never does that.
Yeah.
No.
Radio
So-
on at all
Captain.
times.
I made the mistake of I grab and pull my glove off
Oh,
to try to get my radio because you can't feel anything. You know
yeah.
how our gloves
Yeah,
are.
they suck.
We're wet. It's hot.
Michelin gloves.
I get it about to the fingers and was like, bad idea. Yeah, bad idea.
Holy
So
It
is
is hot.
Is this tucked underneath, like as you're laying down? Is this
Yeah.
underneath your body?
And
you still feel the heat?
I'm on the
Yeah,
side,
uh-huh.
right?
Okay.
So I can't get at my glove and I can't get to the radio.
Yeah.
Right. So then I'm like, okay, so they get water on it and I'm doing all right, right? Now I figure it's like, all right, good deal.
Yeah.
Flashes again.
Shit.
Okay.
Do you feel the water coming or like
You can hear it.
You can
no,
hear it?
I can hear it.
And this is the third flash.
No, this was the second.
Second flash.
This is the
Jesus.
second flash, right? So it flashes again, and when it flashes, at this point, you're in, the fetal position pretty
Yep.
much. I am tucked up under myself,
Oh, yeah.
arm over my mask, just sitting there. And I'm thinking, they always say 3 minutes of a heavyweight fight. Well, those flashes were about a minute and a half each,
Yeah.
right?
Holy shit.
That's a long time.
yeah,
And you...
felt like hours.
Whether you go to church or not, you are going to find somebody to talk to,
You're gonna find
whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and my first thought was, I ain't fucking dying in a house fire.
Good call.
Right?
Yeah.
That was it. I was pissed. And then you're angry.
mad.
Now I'm mad.
Yeah, you're more angry than.
If
I have
you
to
guys
say-
knew him personally,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
would make
Co-
so much
Cody
sense.
Schroeder ain't dying in a house fire.
It's actually spot
Mad.
on. Yeah.
Right?
Angry.
I was angry.
Yeah.
I was, and there's nothing I can do, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So, on the video, you see them squirting like 40 psi in there.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
not
knocks
good.
it out again, and I get to crawling.
Why is what happened to the pressure?
Well,
The
it burnt the pre-connect,
Oh, it
right?
burnt- okay.
And then Stone has it outside.
Okay.
Stone spraying, he was on
Oh,
three.
he has the same pre-connect that's
yeah,
burnt.
because at that point on the second flash is when they see Calvin's arm.
Yeah.
They run. Stone runs up, grabs the whole set of burglar bars, and jerks him off the house.
Shout out to Stone.
They grab him,
Yeah.
jerk him out,
Yeah.
and in the
For
video,
reference, there was another guy.
Yeah,
in,
yeah,
in another
Calvin's.
room that
Yes.
had burglar bars that they literally pulled the
How
burglar
long-
bars off.
How long
and
was
pulled them
Calvin in there for?
Calvin was minute and a half, 2 minutes, something like that. But he went backwards.
Sure.
Like he went to the rear.
Yeah.
And he had his arm out the kitchen window.
Yeah.
And
with burglar bars.
yes,
Yeah.
and he see a glove. Somebody
just
saw.
to imagine, like seeing a fireman's arm
Yeah.
Coming out.
through
Yeah.
burglar
Oh
bars.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Okay.
And Calvin's a big guy.
Yes. So
Hey,
stone.
So it's stone.
Yeah.
And the house on pier and beam. So the window is 7 foot.
Yep.
Yeah.
They grab him, right out, straight to the med unit.
Yep.
Right.
Got the burglar bars
Okay.
off.
And at that point, Mike Pierre is hollering, "Where's Cody?"
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the third flash. And at that point, I'm kind of stuck where
They
I'm
still
at.
hadn't pulled another line. I haven't watched this video.
I
in
think
years.
I think there is a second line.
Okay.
I think there is a second line, but almost everything stopped, right?
Sure.
As soon as they saw Calvin.
Sure.
Yeah.
Like everything stops. So engine 7's there, engine 3's there. They turn in a firefighter's trap,
Yeah.
Mayday, right?
Yeah.
Turn into Mayday. My dad was driver on 6s. We're on the same shift, right? They're sending 6s later, but we'll get to that. And so the third flashes, and at this point, made it, I don't know, 7 feet, 6 feet from the front door. And the front door was an odd door. It opened in, but into the living room, not against the wall.
Oh.
So it should have been a right-handed door.
Yeah.
It was a left-handed door.
Surprise.
So-
surprise.
yeah, I mean,
Everything about this.
I mean-
yeah, it was a weird situation. And that's when Billy Ware and Pete Johnson are standing on the front porch.
Yeah.
When Pierre hollers that Schroeder's still in there, no hose line, no nothing.
Yep.
They strap their gear on, come right in.
They're going
Nice.
in for
That's-
it. Yeah.
And I was right
Straight
there.
up. Yep.
Grabbed me, dragged me right out
Yep.
to the front porch, right? 6, 7 feet. And that's how my left arm's burned. That's from them
Oh,
touching me.
Touching you.
Just
So-
touching me.
It pushed the gear against yours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Jeff said that you could see the handprint.
Yeah, I used to. I mean, hell, it's been
It's gone.
a little bit, but
a little
no.
bit, yeah.
Like if you look at my watch, you see here, there's a light spot here, and there's a spot here. That is
Yeah.
Pete Johnson grabbing and Billy on the back of this arm.
Oh yeah.
Got you right there.
That's a handprint.
Yeah.
Right.
God.
That is how they just got me right out.
Yeah.
How did you feel at that? Like,
It was just straight relief.
Yeah,
I
of
mean,
course.
it was just.
somebody else.
I don't.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
when I get
Yeah.
out and they straight start unbuttoning.
That's
on
all.
the,
We need to show the video. Yeah, it shows.
and
all
it
this.
is
Yeah.
pouring
Yeah.
steam,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
You're
Yeah.
just steaming. It is
Yeah.
zapping.
Hell yeah.
We need to show, but like they literally strip you down. You're in
Oh, yeah.
nothing but your underwear.
Underwear and socks.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're like, why is it so small?
Yeah.
I was in a fire.
No, they. Jeff said that it kind of took his breath away because when he
Hell
saw
yeah.
you, he was like, it didn't. It was smoke. It was off gas.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
steam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was off gas and burnt skin.
I've been in a
Yeah.
fire, not to his like where me and Wilkins remember.
Oh, yeah.
right across from the school in Three's territory.
Not too far after mine.
yeah, not to that. Like they pulled us out, and they were literally not touching us because of him.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Like they were like, "Don't touch them, let them cool off."
Yeah.
before."
I mean, they were getting your ass out of there. They had to, but
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because like in the video, that's Jimmy and Kirk and Webb and all them coming out, right? And Jimmy and Kirk are cooking
Yeah.
Yeah.
and throwing their stuff off, and it was their packs.
Yeah.
Yes,
the
the
straps
packs.
on your packs will,
Oh,
and,
they're burning.
They're
It-
double-edged swords sometimes. I
and
guess.
all
Yeah.
all the old men were like, "Hey, man, don't wear jewelry." They're like, "Take them chains off. Don't
yeah.
wear a hard wedding ring." Well, they also wore cotton gloves,
yeah. Yeah.
and they
Which, I
wore
mean,
like
Cotton
wool lined coats.
the advancements we've made is absolutely insane in
So-
firefighting, dude. It's wild.
I do have a question. What was your gear rated for back then? Is it different?
No,
now?
it's all the same,
It's
right?
a 500
So-
degree gear rating.
And the
Yeah, we know
crazy,
that because you've been studying.
Yeah.
Yeah. 590.
well,
I know
so
my stuff.
our face pieces are rated for 500.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
For so long until they felt they're plastic, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So or acrylic or whatever they
Yeah,
use.
Poly something.
Yeah, and our gear is 1,500 degrees
Mm-hmm.
at a very short span.
Yeah.
Lucky enough for me and TJ Thornton were the only two people in the fire department with leather boots.
I was going to bring that up. Yeah, they were trying the leather boots out.
You-
We were on a trial.
Wow. You,
So if they were rubber,
He would have lost. His
I'd have
feet.
lost my leg.
yeah,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
it would have been melted to your.
No, they
your
already.
shit.
The doctor said if you'd had rubber boots on, we'd have cut your leg off.
Everybody had rubber boots back then.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, And the crazy
You did
part is,
something right.
we just moved to Morning Pride. Shout out to Morning Pride, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Morning Pride.
You're still
My
here.
gear-
I wish we still had that bunker gear.
My gear was only 2 months old.
Okay.
We just tore up a bunch of gear making, because back then it felt like we made more fires.
Yeah.
But
You did. I'm pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we
So-
did. Yeah.
so my gear was new. I actually had all my gear on. All right.
Hood, everything.
Everything. I even had my neck strap
Yeah.
on. Like,
Guardian angel, man.
Yeah, man.
I want to ask, like, just reiterate, like, you probably covering your mask with your arm saved your mask.
Oh,
piece.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
yeah.
Just
and-
for guys like that could save your life.
Yeah,
like
and-
in a fire.
And the thing is when I did my interview with our investigator back then, this is, 10 months, 11 months after I've been at work for a few months back
Yeah.
to work.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, I need you to describe it. I said, well.
Was it our department investigator?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And I said, Chief, here's how I describe it. I said, you ever heard of blowtorch? And he's like, yeah. I said, well, when I'm laying in there, that's all I could hear.
Yeah.
Is the fire over
Like
me.
that.
How loud it is.
I said, and it got to the point where the air in my bottle got so hot. You're breathing it in,
Yeah.
and it's starting to squeal like your pop-off
PSI.
valve.
Yeah. The relief valve.
The relief
off.
valve
Yeah.
was, and I'm like, well,
Boyle's law.
yeah.
How much air did you have left in your bottle? Did you ever see that? I'm just curious.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
What was
I imagine I was consuming some air
Probably.
at some
yeah,
point.
Yeah.
You weren't. You mean you weren't skip breathing?
Yeah. Remember this?
Yeah.
What was the just out of curiosity, the room you were stuck in before that front door? What was the square footage roundabout? Any idea?
Man, it was probably 20 foot by 12 foot, 14 foot. Like,
It's a shotgun house.
yeah, I mean,
pretty small room.
it was. So the room we're sitting in extended by about 12 feet that way.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit, I mean,
And couldn't even see the front door.
couldn't see nothing at that point.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to look up because when you did look up,
That's
I
when your
mean,
mask was, too.
everything like burned, right?
Yeah.
Did you actually see your mask bubbling at all? Or
I'm pretty sure I had my eyes closed at this point because I
Yeah.
didn't want to see anything that was
Yeah.
happening.
Shit.
Is the mask in here?
Yeah,
We can see if it bubbles.
I think so.
Yeah, you do want to.
I think it is.
Yeah.
But the thing is when I looked at it, I said, when I looked and my gloves were on fire,
that's what.
I'm on fire.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, time. Yeah. I closed my eye. I mean, in all honesty, people are like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Well,
I mean,
It's different when you're on
Yes.
fucking fire.
Yeah, exactly. And all the training and shit, like you're gonna revert back to some of the training you received,
hopefully.
of course. But at the same time, it's so fucking hot.
Yeah.
You just were trying to protect
everything.
everything. Like,
Yeah.
And still at that point, the
Yeah.
only thing that hurt was my calf.
yeah.
Of all
That's
things.
crazy.
And,
That's
and I
crazy
could
as
That's
not,
funny. That's what stuck with me. Yeah.
that's what hurt. And I'm like, and
I
I'm,
remember Kirk, the guy that actually made it. He was close to you, right?
Yeah.
He made it out, but I remember him telling me he was like clawing to the door trying to get out, and like his gloves, he could see his gloves on fire.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
crazy as shit.
yeah,
Well, yeah, freaking
yeah.
cotton.
Yeah.
So I heard that someone, maybe it was Chief Shago, said
Nice.
this was
Our
that it was
Canadian
like
friend.
fishnets up top above you guys or something.
Fishnets.
Yeah, he said there was like some kind of like fishing equipment up top that
Interesting.
was cooking, and when it fell,
Like
oh, yeah.
a
So,
fucking cast net
so-
hanging above.
well,
basically,
the
yeah.
attic stuff,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
the biggest thing is after I got to look at the floor plans because they had to step it all. I mean, they had to do all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The investigators, because they were like, he may die.
he might die.
Yeah.
Right? So everybody knows what attic fans are, especially around here, right?
At least down here in the south.
Down here,
Yeah.
attic fans, right?
Yeah.
So they just sheetrocked over it. When that fell, that's a 4x4 hole, and it all that gas, hot gas,
shit.
fire came right in the middle, and it's right in the middle of this room,
Okay.
Damn.
in between us and the door.
Okay.
So Kirk, it was so chaos. He got tripped and he got stuck in like a speaker or a couch trying to get out, and
My
he's
God.
on fire.
Yeah.
Jimmy's on. All of us are, right?
I'm burning, boys.
Just,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
scrambling to get out, man.
I mean,
Well, and that's what you do.
yeah.
of
Yeah. I
mean,
course.
Yeah.
It's-
It wasn't initially. It was a normal house fire.
I didn't. Yeah, no. And still today, I'm like, I wouldn't have. They're like, what you done different? I'm like, I don't think I would have.
There's,
Yeah,
nothing,
that's-
there's
yeah.
nothing that pops out that like. You're
And it
like,
happened to be like a 25-mile-an-hour westerly wind. Like we don't ever have those.
No.
we have so many
No.
Like,
trees. It's like,
and it was coming, and the gable of the house was facing east
Yeah.
and west, and the air's coming right through that attic, pushing it all to the front.
Yeah.
So it pretty much shoved everything to our exit.
Jesus. Your one exit.
Year one exit because you got an engine block and burglar bars.
I mean, you don't want somebody stealing your engine block.
Do you remember every chief car had burglar
Pullers.
bar pullers
Yep.
after
Yeah.
this fire?
Of
We don't have them
course.
now, but
Yeah.
When
That's
we-
not a thing now anymore,
we-
apparently.
Well, we have Jaws. So
Yeah,
Look, the
I was about
Jaws
to
is,
say, when
I pulled
Yeah.
bar like
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah.
for a while after his fire. It was if you pull up to
Mandatory.
a house fire
Still is.
and there's burglar bars, you
Yank those motherfuckers off.
When,
Yeah.
when me and you hired in, I don't know if you remember, that was like a full day of our training.
Yeah.
Was going to a house and breaking the shit out of
Oh,
it.
yeah.
And pulling
Yeah.
all the burglar bars.
Yeah,
off.
Josh Davis brought us
Yep.
an old red tagged house. He'd be like,
Yep.
all
Yes,
right,
sir.
get the burglar bars off, cut a hole in the roof.
Yep.
That was actually a fun ass day.
Yeah, it was.
That was a good day, man.
Imagine doing that with rookies. But anyway,
Yeah, not anymore,
but,
dude.
so from the time of it flashing the first time on you guys
Mm-hmm.
to them realizing you were missing,
Yeah.
right.
was it 2 minutes, a minute and a half?
Something to that effect. I know that it ended up being like 3 minutes and 30 seconds in there, 3:20 something.
Oh,
that's a long time.
That
That's a
seems
fuck
like
load
it,
of
it
time.
was, and I'll be, it was forever.
Yeah.
Like that
Oh, I
3
bet.
minutes is forever.
Dude, that's the longest 3 minutes of your life.
Yeah.
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 Let's. We need to show the gear.
Okay.
Chubb, let's bust out the gear. Schroeder brought his gear for us. I'm gonna try and show it to you guys. Melissa can tighten up on the camera and all that stuff, just to give everybody a. There's a helmet. Go helmet first.
Yeah. The helmet's a good one, right?
Yeah. The helmet's a. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold it.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You talk, Holligan. So then.
So this is nuts to me because I only ever saw the video.
Right.
I never held the gear. Did your head get hot from this shit? How?
I
Like
don't-
that's crazy
He
that your
probably
head.
doesn't remember. Like,
Well-
I mean, there was his calf was.
That was
burning.
it. That,
I mean,
it's-
he's got better hair than me.
I mean, that's genetics.
to
for
be
God's
honest,
sakes,
it's
dude.
not my hat. Well, you can see how it's
Look at
bubbled.
the back.
It's
Yeah.
bubbled only on one side
Yeah.
because I tilted
Show the back.
my head.
Mulligan.
Yeah,
'Cause
the
it-
duck bill in the
usually-
back.
Because that was
Trying to be
getting the
tender
most
with
heat.
You ain't gonna hurt it.
Yeah, I don't think you're gonna hurt it any more than it's already been hurt.
Memento.
Yeah.
look, there's
so
no-
it burnt through it
Yeah.
right in the back.
Shit, dude. Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
Definitely burned your passport if y'all had them.
Has to
No, we didn't have those. We had the one last name
Yeah,
that was
like a
red.
passports on them. Yeah.
That hung on the back. Of
Was
your
it a
helmet,
metal
yeah.
tag?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
No,
Yeah.
it's plastic.
Yeah.
Red plastic tag.
Nomex pants? Actually, not
No,
too bad.
those are officer pants.
Oh, okay.
Those
so
are
they're
our,
not even.
No, those are.
We didn't have Nomex.
Nomex didn't exist.
You guys were real pirates back in the day,
That's
dude.
we started wearing Nomex after this incident.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the
Okay.
new uniforms got
makes
put
sense.
in afterwards.
Here's what do we got here? Some pantaloons.
Yep.
Here. Are these Morning Pride?
Yep.
Yep, Morning Pride. Shout out to them.
Yeah, look at the right calf, and you'll see what I was talking about on why my calf hurt.
Yeah. So there
So-
we go. That's why his calf was
Yeah.
really burned. Not really bad through the officer pants.
No.
These took a brunt of it for God's
Which is
sake.
crazy. Cause your cat, how's your calf look?
Well, I mean,
not the
Yes.
best.
it looks burnt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
it does.
It's kind of funny. It's like that was a weak point in the bunker gear. You know.
Well, it was what was sticking out,
yeah.
I guess.
Yes. Maybe
Sure.
you were just.
Yeah, that's my T-shirt
Had to cut it off you.
Show this because this is what everybody talked about when I hired in.
on my right shoulder, right?
Yeah.
So
This
when
is
they
what we're talking about.
Yeah.
when they took it off, right?
It smells old.
They cut
Yeah,
it off.
it is
they
old.
cut it off.
And the
cut
shirt
it off.
was it was like glued to your back.
No,
right?
no.
Oh, it wasn't?
No.
It came right off?
And that was the big, huge misconception. Like, oh, your shirt melted, your pants. I'm like, no, it didn't.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nah.
everyone told
Like
me
it's
that.
cotton.
See, that's the yeah. Firefighters like
Now-
tell some tales. This is the hood.
That's
this
the
is a
hood.
Real, I got napkins thicker
Yes,
than this thing,
that's
dude.
the old school.
Yeah.
That's a sock hood, right?
Yes.
Yeah, this
And-
is basically a sock.
Yeah,
It's pretty thin.
it did all right.
It
I
did.
mean,
hey, it did its fucking
Did
job.
its job.
You were
My-
actually wearing it.
You, like I said, you got better hair than I do.
my
That's,
right ear's
As most
still
people-
there.
I've seen homeless guys with better hair.
So is your ear sensitive at all?
No,
No sensitivity.
No.
Oh shit.
and yeah.
That's
so
the right shoulder.
Yeah, here we go. This is the
in the rear of it, you can see.
Take some pictures of this
Yeah.
and lay it
Yeah.
out so everyone can kind of see.
I mean,
So yeah, all that was from my air pack.
pull it
Is
over
what
to you
they.
more, Holly.
is what they said, right?
Yeah, pressing on the body. Yeah.
Yes, because
Oh.
all of our air packs are aluminum plates. Aluminum does really well with conducting heat,
yeah.
and so so my back, I didn't even know that's my right boot, and you can tell where it burnt
Right
through.
here. Yep.
It changed colors. It used to be pink, but it's obviously old.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's crazy. So
Golly.
was it 40% of your body was burned?
49,
49% of your
third
body.
degree.
Third degree, 40.
That's how hot it got. I guess that's you're probably.
Was it
on the
third
right.
and second degree burns or primarily third?
Most everything was third degree.
Most everything third.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So most everything was third degree.
That's wild.
Yeah, and the crazy part is we come out of it and all that other good stuff, and when Jeff when they cut my shirt off, right, and take my pants off, and I step out, I'm standing there, and the only thing I did is I looked down at my right arm, and it was just destroyed, and I'm like,
ooh.
I looked, I'm like, man, and nobody would touch me, right? The medics wouldn't touch me, so walked straight to the med
He
unit.
walked, by
Yes.
the way.
Which is crazy as shit.
They brought a helicopter for this
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah.
But they put the burn blanket down. I sit on it, and I'm like, my pulse rate's probably 200.
Easily.
Easy,
Yeah.
right? You're
Yeah.
running in all adrenaline.
Did you feel the pain like then?
No.
No.
Nothing.
You were like happy
You're
to
in
be
shock.
out of there.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
straight up just shocked.
I mean,
And
dude, give me the
so I sit
fudge outta
down,
here, dude.
and old man, what was his name?
You talking
medic?
about Fireman?
Yeah, no, the medic.
Joey?
No,
Joey?
not
Joey
Joey.
was
No,
old.
I'm-
I remember Joey in the video.
Was it Smarsh? No.
no. I'll think of his name here in a minute. And-
Old timey medic. Yeah.
yeah, glasses, mustache, and
Trying to remember.
We'll figure it out.
not Crothers, but so yeah. First thing he does, he goes, and my veins are huge, right? He was just like, hey,
Yeah.
and they hang double bags of fluid instantly, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm still remembering all this.
Yeah.
Gives me 5 of morphine.
I was about to ask
because
if
morphine.
Hell yeah. Double
And
down on that shit.
And this is when small arsenal
yeah.
was working, right?
Yeah. Nice.
Justin runs up to me, and at this point I got some morphine on board. I'm feeling all right.
Yeah.
Leaning against there, and he was like, "How much morphine they give you?" I'm like, "Oh man, I don't know."
I don't know.
Like, and this is way before we did any medic stuff. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey,
About
and
that
arsenal
much?
was
Yeah.
like not enough,
Okay.
right? Because at that point, you kind of figure, I'm like, this ain't good.
No.
Yeah.
This can't
No
be
shit.
good
Yeah.
because I still, you can't see your back.
No. No.
And I knew my arm, but other than that, next thing you know, I'm pretty loopy.
Yeah.
Helicopter lands, right on the helicopter,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm chilling in the helicopter, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
You're like, where are we
Yeah.
going?
Crazy
Where are
as
we
shit.
going, guys?
Yeah.
Elbow?
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I remember, and
get
this
some
is
drinks.
this is a
Gotta stop
smaller
in the bar.
helicopter, I guess. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
For now, nowadays.
For nowadays, right?
Yeah.
This was a smaller one. I had one of the flight nurses with me.
Nice. Hello.
And I'm looking, hey, I'm looking
you're
out the
like
window,
second.
and I'm like, hey, look, that's Crystal Beach.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, look at that. And I'm
Okay.
like, and she was like, what? I was like, my right elbow kind of hurts. I didn't know that it was just open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
it had no
shit.
skin because
Nothing.
it burned off, and they don't do anything.
Yeah.
Like,
They can't do it,
They-
right?
yeah.
That minus give you some
No.
pain meds.
and she was like, how bad's it hurting? And I just looked at her. I'm thinking, I mean, it hurts.
It hurts,
And I
lady.
hadn't said anything hurt yet.
Yeah.
yeah.
So this is probably 30,
about to say-
45 minutes after.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, and she gives me a pile of Versed, I'm guessing.
God dog.
Right? And now,
Damn
at
cowboy medics back in the day.
At that point, I don't remember anything
Yeah.
until like after Christmas.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
Like,
Jesus.
I don't remember hardly anything because apparently I get to the ER, they're prepping all the surgeons,
And when
right?
did this happen?
You went to
2000
December 18th.
Okay.
17th or 18th.
Okay, so a couple days went by.
Like a week and a half.
Yeah.
So you went to Galveston.
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. I went
Yeah.
to
We can say,
UTMB.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's still number one in the world.
Sure.
Burn clinic,
Yeah.
right?
Yep,
And it
yep,
just
yep.
happens to be like 28-minute life flight from Boulder. How lucky we are, right?
Yeah.
Like
Market.
everything kind of lined up to make
Market Hill.
me still
Yep.
sit here, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
fuck yeah, man.
it was funny. So we get there, and my ears are burned. I got skin falling off apparently, and somehow I convince a nurse to let me borrow her cell phone.
Nice.
Right? Somehow.
I want to know
Put
where
your
this
phone
is
number
going.
in.
Yeah.
So
I'll plug my number in there for you.
Yeah,
man. Don't worry.
yeah. So there's no telling
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'd just done the calendar like 6 months before,
sure.
so
Oh,
I
yeah,
was,
so
you
you're
know,
shredded,
I was
bro.
feeling all right.
You're feeling good.
Feeling good about myself.
Of course. Younger days.
Not looking in a mirror, apparently, because it wasn't good.
Sure. She was probably like,
Yeah, like, you smell bad here.
Yeah. You smell like burnt skin.
little crispy.
You're a little crispy. So, apparently, I called Dad.
Yeah.
Remembered his cell phone number.
Damn.
Yeah, because
Call Dad.
back then, easy.
Because at the point, so I didn't know they turned in a second.
Yeah.
So Dad and them were coming down College Street running hot. And Dad knows I work in downtown.
Sure.
And they were like, Engine 6, return to your station. So he already knew
Yeah.
that it was me. So he hits the station, phone rings. He goes, picks my mom up, and Tracy, my ex-wife. She was at work at Baptist.
Yep.
She drives, and they jump in my mom's car, headed to Galveston, right? And at the time, Bailey was 2.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Young girl.
Yep.
Yeah, she was young.
Yeah.
So my cousins are watching her, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I called Dad, and they're on the ferry,
Yeah.
apparently. Like, they already made it down there.
Damn.
Oh, shit.
Hook flying.
Yeah.
Dude.
So I
Hell
called
yeah.
Dad, and he's like, hello? I'm like, hey, what's up? He's like, hey. You know?
That's crazy as
Yeah,
shit.
and Dad, and he goes, I said, well, what did I talk about? He's like, oh, man, y'all ain't got to get in a hurry. I'm fine.
Oh,
I'm
my
walking
God.
around talking on my phone. He's like, and he said, we had like a 5-minute conversation.
That's crazy
And the
as
doctor's
shit.
walking there like, how did he get a phone?
Yeah, you're
like,
like,
where did he get a phone
Yeah. The
from?
nurse is like, he kept fucking yelling.
Yeah,
at me.
he was screaming.
It's
Yeah,
Schroeder,
he-
man.
yeah. He kept fucking
Apparently-
screaming at me.
Yeah, apparently I'm very convincing.
I could see it. Yeah. Hey, real quick, we got to do an ad. We got to shout out to our sponsors, and then we'll get right back into it. We got to shout out the boys at Garage. You guys hit up Garage. They're going to help you get a new apparatus, get a used apparatus. They're going to help you sell your old apparatus that's sitting in the back. Ask any fleet manager, logistics chiefs, where's the best place to find a deal on a used apparatus? They're probably going to tell you local auctions, traditional auction sites. Wrong. Don't do that. Wrong. That means you're probably going to get stuck with a lemon. All right, you're going to get some guy on Facebook Marketplace is selling this engine he's got in his backyard.
jalopy.
Yeah, some jalopy. Don't do that. Hit up Garage. They're going to help you find exactly what you need. They're going to give you a quote for your engine you're trying to get rid of if you're trying to sell one, and they're also not going to sell you a lemon. You guys can set up a virtual tour. They'll give you a virtual tour. Ask any questions you have about it, and then you can set up an in-person tour. And then once you buy that apparatus, they're not just going to leave you hanging. They're going to help you out with shipping it, freight cost, all that. Logistically, they're going to cover everything for you.
Really good guys.
Yeah, solid guys, man. Firefighters, firefighter-owned company. They've been an awesome sponsor to us. So shout out to
you
Garage. You guys hit them up if you're trying to get rid of that old apparatus. So thanks,
Trying
boys.
to cover your receding hairline like Tanner.
Yeah.
Free hats.
Yeah, they'll send you some hats.
Where's the beanie, Garage?
They sent you a beanie.
We got beanies.
We got
Yeah.
beanies.
kidding.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
kidding.
Okay.
Gotta
Anyway,
wear that
I
one.
forgot.
shout out to
I'll
the
wear it
boys
next time.
at Garage. So thank you guys. Anyway, back to the show. Fade in, fade out.
did.
Melissa. Yeah.
I can't bring my eyes off this fucking helmet, dude.
It's pretty wild.
Blows
So
my mind,
we
man.
have some. We got some questions before we get. Is there anything else of note that happens in the hospital? I know you were probably in there. I read the quote. The doctor said a day for every percentage that you're burned.
Right, and that's what they were going for. So the surgeons, it was crazy. So when I start actually having recollection of days,
Sure.
now I'm on all types of drips and all kinds of drugs.
Yeah.
And they wanted me sedated to not move because they shaved my head. They took all the skin off my head.
Oh,
From my chest all the way to my groin, my left thigh, my left calf
for grafts.
for grafts. So when I did wake up, I'm tied to the bed.
I heard about
Yeah.
Right.
You're like, where's that nurse at?
That's normal for you, though, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Just sometimes.
Sometimes.
It wasn't that big of a shock.
Yeah.
But the big shock was I was face down. I didn't like
Whoa.
that.
Okay.
So it's usually the other way.
Yeah. Jesus.
So
There's at least a hole cut in the bed.
because my back, they had to cut,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, and I just had fresh tattoos, big, huge tattoos
remember.
all the way across my back.
Yeah.
I have like one piece left of one tattoo.
That's
and
crazy as shit.
being me, I was like, I told the surgeon after I saw it, I'm like, hey, bro, why don't you just finish cutting it off?
Yeah.
And he was like, trying to save, they're all serious.
Oh yeah.
He's like, I'm making sure you didn't die. I'm like, well, I appreciate it.
I appreciate
But you
it,
could have
man.
been better at whatever you did back there.
Jeez, man.
You really fucked up, buddy.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
So it was, and so Neeson, it was funny. So
this.
Okay.
Jeff told
So
me
I've
about this.
been in the hospital, and so the crazy part is our department being what it was then, and now it's completely different. They had 47 off-duty firemen from our department show up to
Nice.
Galveston by that evening.
Yeah, of course.
And the nurses are freaking out.
Hello.
Because they're like, y'all cannot be here.
Oh.
And that's when the burn unit was very small.
Sure.
Yeah.
Filled up the whole hallways. Dad and them having to make people leave. Like y'all cannot be here.
Yeah.
So, and I'd been on A shift for 5.5 years before that. And I'd been on C shift like a year and a half or something like that when I got burned. So that was that big changeover. But yeah, so I'm laying in the hospital and I'm kind of conscious, but I'm still on all kinds of drugs.
Yeah.
And I convinced Neeson to cut me loose.
Oh my God.
So somehow I convinced Neeson to cut me loose. Somehow, right? Because I'm tied to the bed.
Our union.
And,
You're gonna have to bleep that.
hey, you know what friends do? They help you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah.
So he cuts me loose, and I'm up. I'm leaving. Like I have my tent pole.
Yeah.
I'm leaving, and the nurses are like, and Neeson just bails. Like he is
like, "Oh,
gone.
shit."
When he realizes that, Cody is still so high on drugs, he don't know where he's at when
Oh,
I
my
stand
God.
up, and I am wrapped like a mummy,
Yeah.
headed down the hallway trying to leave. And the nurses and doctors are like, they're pissed.
Of
They're
course.
like, hey, and to come to find out, the straps are Velcro. All he had to do was unvelcro. Because
there's no
Jeff
cutting.
goes, and I asked Jeff later, I said, well, man, why'd you cut me loose?
Yeah.
He's like, well, man, he said, you sounded so normal. He said, you were
Yeah.
like, hey, there's trauma shears underneath that book right there. Cut these off. I need to get up.
Yeah.
And he said, I opened the book. There's trauma shears.
That's
he said, how do
crazy as
you know
shit.
that? Yeah, it didn't go well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was banned. He was
He
banned.
didn't get to go
That's
back to the
hilarious,
hospital.
dude.
Yeah.
Classic, dude.
That's a good friend, though.
I love that.
That's a great friend. Like, hey, man, I got to scratch my ass. You got to get me out of here.
Yeah, I mean, so the scrub room and all that was just part of it every day.
Yeah.
Yes.
Unbandaged, scrub you off.
So scale of 1 to 10, how?
It was the grafts are what hurt, nothing else.
I've
right?
heard that from so many
just
people.
terrible.
The graphs hurt.
Yeah, oh yeah, they hurt. I mean, it's road rash.
Yeah.
essentially. And so my dad took off the whole time.
Of course, yeah.
And he would come in there because they were so busy at the time. It's wintertime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Throw gasoline on fires and, just people in
Oh,
general
winter.
burn.
Yep.
So he scrubbed me every morning.
Jesus.
He would get in there and unbandage me. And when you walk into that scrub room, it's 86 degrees.
Oh, wow.
And I have a heat lamp over you
Yeah.
because you're freezing to death.
Sure.
Hey, and Dad and them, they had to wear
Oh, yeah.
full gown, double gloves,
Suit up.
double
Sterile,
mask,
right?
sterile room, right? So he would sit there and just pour in sweat, right? But,
Yeah.
Dad's a trooper. Dad took care of it.
Shout out to him, man. That's
Shout out
awesome.
to him doing that to his
Hell
boy.
Yeah.
To your son.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
because,
God.
Terrio did it once.
Oh, nice.
Terrio, Dad had union business or something,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so Terrio stays with me in my condo I had on the seawall.
Yeah.
So I was right by the hospital because when they released me, but I couldn't leave the island.
Yeah.
Because of
You
infection
had
and
to
stuff
go,
like
yeah.
that. So Cody T, he has a big jacked up truck. I don't bend that well.
Yeah.
Wrapped up.
Yeah.
So he literally has to pick me up and put me in his truck.
Luckily,
And-
Cody T's a big old boy,
Giant.
dude.
Yeah.
Everything hurts
Yeah.
though. Like
Yeah.
you can't touch me. Like everything hurts. His truck has big like 35s. We're riding in
Oh my
Galveston
God,
and I'm like
dude.
right, just sweating by the time we get there,
Buddy,
right?
we got to get you a Honda Accord or something.
Yeah. So yeah, Cody T scrubbed me too, and I'm butt naked for like
Yeah.
7 weeks,
Yeah.
or like 3 months. At this point, I'm just like, I saved money on underwear for
Sure,
years because
sure.
I just quit wearing them. Like, what's the point?
You don't
Yeah.
wear them now, don't lie.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, I have to
I don't wear 'em.
sometimes.
When you feeling like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Do you still have sensitivity to cold? and hot
no,
like
so it was weird. I had to wear a compression suit for a year. They fit you. They give you a wash rag to cover your junk.
Yep.
And they take 170 measurements. Like you're just standing there in front of some dude just moving your junk, and because it needs to be tight.
Yeah.
So your scars will flatten out.
Sure.
Okay. So they fit me for that. That thing was horrible. It's like a
You're wearing
skin suit,
A scuba suit, dude. Yeah, you're in a
And
damn
it's
body glove.
ultra tight.
Yeah.
And so that thing was terrible.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
And it was summertime.
Sounds
Oh.
So I look
In
look
Texas.
ridiculous. So I had like board shorts on with this whole suit because it was from my neck all the way to my right wrist.
That's crazy as
And it
shit.
stopped right here. So this arm stayed out. But my hands were still burned.
Yeah.
But yeah, that whole process was insane because you don't realize, and it didn't bother me because they were really worried, like, hey, don't be in the sun. Like, because
I remember, like, we were doing the soccer tournaments and stuff back then.
yeah, and they were like, he's not supposed to be in the sun. He's sensitive.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I got the suit on.
No, so, yeah. So
Black suit.
by the time I got rid of the suit, I'm just in shorts and no shirt.
Yeah.
Okay,
You still have the suit?
no?
Oh man,
God, no.
Give
That-
Holly,
that-
give Holly
thing away.
$20 to
That-
smell it, dude.
I remember this guy coming to the firefighter Olympics, like wearing like some kind. Do you have like sleeves? or
Yeah, I had to
something?
wear
Yeah,
a sleeve for
sleeves, yeah.
years on my
Yeah.
right arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my
Jesus.
elbow would never
We
heal.
were playing soccer, and he'd just be like, "Oh, yeah, I'm burned right here."
Yeah.
It's-
Wearing this sleeve.
yeah.
You still have like the after effects. You have like
Right.
arthritis from it.
Oh yeah. So what happened is I asked the doctors. They're like, what happens is all the collagen you have in your joints, right? All the juices you have boiled out of my joints.
Jesus.
Right, like
Holy
my
shit.
right hip,
Yeah.
right, and my right ankle, and my right elbow. My shoulders burn.
Yep.
And I never really thought about it because when you're 27,
Yeah. Who gives a shit?
Unstoppable.
it didn't bother me, right? Because I got in trouble. I don't know how many times, right?
course.
So my job for like 5 months was go to therapy at 7 a.m.
Yep.
I did therapy from 7 to 8:30. Lift, and she did all this hot wax. She was amazing.
Hello.
Like she did hot wax on me, and she
Hot
did.
wax.
Oh
this
yeah.
This sounds like a good therapy session.
It was, right? So she
tie
did
you
all
up, too?
these crazy because she was the only nurse. Joanne was the only nurse in Southeast Texas that was burn certified that could deal with burn patients.
This was
That's
at
crazy as
Galveston?
shit.
No, this,
On Beaumont?
she works
Yep.
at St. Eve still.
Wow.
Damn.
And she's
There we go
amazing.
again.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. And the funny thing is, she was married to one of my mom's friends and one of my basketball coaches. So
Yeah.
I knew him.
Yeah.
Damn.
So you have that.
Small world.
And
Yeah.
then
All right.
I'd leave there and I had a personal trainer
Yeah.
that was also an RN at the wellness center.
Okay.
So she put me through, and I'd be done at 11 a.m.
Yeah.
My whole day's done. And
Jesus.
it's like,
Now
what do you
what?
do now, right?
Yeah.
Well, you're tired, so you go
Sure.
take a nap,
Yeah.
eat painkillers, of
course.
normal stuff.
Yeah.
What was
you have
the?
to.
So how long until you could return to work?
So I came back. So I would have been able to come back around like May or June.
Okay.
They didn't want me to.
Sure.
Happened in
because-
December.
December.
Yeah, December.
Happened in December.
So at certain points, I was with Champagne, who used to be a fireman, and then he went to the plants. He had a big lake house.
Okay.
So if I didn't have my daughter, we're riding jet skis. I'm in my hey.
Damn it, Stu! Stop. You guys suck so bad.
Okay, it's all right.
That's all right. You motherfuckers don't have to edit it out. Jesus Christ! I know he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah.
Shit,
Good
I'm gonna
story.
teach you. Hey, you edit it on YouTube. Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're hanging out the lake house.
Yeah.
You're chilling.
So I'm like, I was like, I'm riding a jet ski today.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm drinking beer. I'm in the sun. My hands I get tan, right?
Oh, yeah.
My face is tan. My feet are tan. My hands and my left arm.
Yep.
And I'm not supposed to be in the sun.
Sure.
Right.
Surprise,
I go
surprise.
to my doctors and they're like, "You been in the sun?" I'm like,
No.
And I'm naked, so I am as wide as y'all's door except for like certain parts.
Oh, my
He's
God.
like, nope.
Totally
Definitely
weird.
I'm like, it's self tanner. That's right,
Yeah.
self tanner.
Jesus.
Hey, and so we're jet skiing one morning, and so one afternoon
This fucking
drinking.
guy just jet skiing.
Yeah.
Yeah. After getting burned.
And I still have like open wounds, right? And I'm in the water. I'm like, look, man, I
Lake
had to,
water.
Yeah, it's fine.
Sweet.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Better than salt water, I guess.
Yeah. Good immune
Yeah.
system,
That's,
right?
Yeah.
that's nature's cure.
Yeah. So
Southeast Texas
one
lake
morning I
water.
wake up and I can't move my arm.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
I'm
shit.
up at Rayburn. I was like, oh God. Hey, and Champagne's like, what? I'm like, hey man, you need to straighten my arm out. Like it was locked.
Yeah.
We get it straightened out. And I'm like, oh God, I ain't hurt like this in months. And I look and there's a huge knot
Oh,
in my bicep. I'm like, that's weird.
That's
I
not
start poking it because it doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
It starts leaking.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
So
let's
I,
go.
I drive one-handed from Rayburn. I'm on the phone with Dad. I'm like, hey, I think I need to go to the hospital.
Oh, for God's sakes.
holy shit.
So I leave Rayburn, go all the way to Galveston. I walk in, and they're just looking at me. And she was like, oh, yeah, that's just a cyst. She's like, whatever you did. I'm like, I was jet skiing.
Yeah.
She's like, makes sense.
Yeah.
So they just pretty much cut it open.
Drained it.
That was
Drained
it.
it.
Like, and that's the craziest part. Over all that was the only infection I had.
No
that ain't
way.
bad. That ain't
The
bad at all,
whole
man.
process.
Which is very uncommon, right?
Yes.
Like that's the main thing that
That's
kills
what
people with
people
burns.
die
Yeah.
of sepsis
Oh, yeah.
after
Sepsis,
burns because you're open, right?
Yeah.
I
And
remember them talking about like him, like he can't come back to work because he can get it. If
Yeah.
he gets infected,
Yeah.
it could kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you guys should keep him here. He's out fucking jet skiing.
Yeah.
All right? Put him in the office or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put him, make him a damn fire marshal or some
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. I just
I have to ask, what was that next fire that you
So
went into?
I
How did
came
that
back
feel?
in August, and it was crazy because the doctor said, "Look, you can't go back to work," because I was on them.
Yeah.
I had to have one more surgery in like May or June. Had that surgery, and the doctor every time I saw him, like,
Yeah.
hey, I want to
Let's
go back
go.
to work.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
Yep.
man. All I do is drink beer and jet ski and lift weights. Like I need something to
I gotta
do.
do something. Yeah.
Like this is not healthy.
Not a
What
bad
I'm
life.
doing is
Yeah,
not
it sounds
healthy.
like a good life. Sounds rad.
Yeah, and getting a paycheck.
Not
Yeah.
bad at all.
So he was like, "You have to make a diamond
oh, fuck.
above my head." Hey, and my shoulder would go about this far.
Yeah, I remember you.
God, that would kill me.
So I'm doing all their exercises,
Yeah.
and I am hanging just from that one arm, and it's just tearing all
Oh, my
the scars.
God.
But I mean, so they do the surgery, and I finally go back. All the staples are out.
Mm-hmm.
Everything's healed up enough because my elbow still has a hole in it.
Yeah.
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 And I do the diamond. He's like, "Cool, you can go back to work." I didn't let the Chiefs know. I didn't let anybody.
You just showed up.
No, I drove. I drove from Galveston on the phone with them.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, I got my doctor's note. I return to work tomorrow at C shift." Hey, go straight to headquarters, turn it in. They flip out
Of course.
because they're like, "What are we gonna do with him?" And I'm like, "Put me back on my
me on
engine."
an engine.
Yeah.
Like I'm ready to come back to work.
Yeah. I got
I was
the
like,
note.
I was like, I'm in the best shape of anybody that works here right
Yeah.
now. I mean,
Yeah.
all I did was work out.
Therapy
Yeah.
and workout.
There-
I
mean-
was gonna say you
Jet ski.
like at that
Jet ski.
point. I remember you like that's when you started like running.
Oh,
And
that's
like,
when I was doing triathlons.
Yeah, he would
and
do triathlon.
crazy as
Like,
shit.
yeah, he's like, I'm about to slam this triple cheeseburger
That's right.
and go run
Yeah.
a triathlon. I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like, Jesus,
Yeah, it's
man.
like
Yeah.
because at the time I couldn't keep weight on because
Yeah.
you're swimming and running and biking. So the nutritionist I called, they're like, "You need to eat 7,000 calories a day." I'm like, "How?"
What? Yeah.
I said, "How?"
That's awesome.
So it
I'd
was
be
like
so excited if somebody told me that, dude. I'd be like, done.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
It was a lot harder than I thought.
Sure.
Because it's like, do you really want a triple cheeseburger with bacon, a big Dr. Pepper, and extra large fries? And yes,
Fuck yeah, I do.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. Right now?
We're fat guys.
That sounds like we're fat guys, dude. Nothing but fatties over here, man.
yeah. And it was
I've
wild.
seen you live off of 3 eggs and a pack of Sour Patch
Yeah,
Kids,
yeah.
dude. Yeah.
I mean,
And it's screaming cold Coke
Cream
from the
and cold.
Mexican
Full
grocery store.
fucking sugar,
oh yeah,
everything.
all day. So
All day.
But yeah, it was one of those things where when I show up, the whole thing was like, we have to have the news here because it was a big story,
yeah,
right?
I saw that.
It was the only thing happening.
Yeah. Well,
Well, other than
mostly
people getting shot.
except murder.
Yeah,
That's
except
normal though.
Yeah.
Pretty normal for our city. See
Yeah.
how it didn't say it?
Yeah. So yeah.
What city are you talking about?
Shut up.
Yeah. So we end up going in there, and it's Kurt was still at ones, Jimmy was still at ones, right? Pierre was gone, Foster was gone.
Yep.
Like it all changed.
Yeah.
So I have like 4 meetings. I show up to work at like 6:30.
Sure.
I don't even have gear. So they had to have like Walls is standing there with my new gear. I get all my gear together. And, you know, everybody's hanging out. You know. The news shows up at like 9:30.
Yep.
I'm in meetings from 7:15
Oh, God.
with the deputy chief, the district chiefs, captains. And they're
Yeah.
like, "How are we going to do this?" I'm like, "I just want to work. Like,
Just put me on the engine,
just
man.
can y'all
Yeah.
leave me alone?"
You guys do all this. I will go to work.
Yeah.
No.
So they
Yeah.
honestly made me do the rookie program.
Really? Over again?
I didn't know. This.
Oh yeah. So I had to do a
That
fit.
seems like a real kick in the nards.
I had to
dude.
do a
Like,
fit for duty test.
Okay.
And they
okay.
didn't even know how to do it. Right? Like they wasn't sure what to do.
We've never
Pick up that barbell.
do
real quick,
10
bro.
push-ups real quick.
Yeah.
Ah, you're good.
So Kirk was there, and I was laughing. I was like, "What do y'all need me to do?" And they're like, "All right, you're gonna get on the reserve, you and Kirk."
Yeah.
And I said, "All right." They're like, "You're gonna catch a hydrant. You're gonna turn the hydrant on. You're gonna go to the engine on, full air pack, mask, everything.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not going on air because we don't do that in real life. I don't catch a hydrant on air.
Yeah.
That's
Right?
goofy.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
goofy shit.
they made me pull a pre-connect, spray water,
Sure.
and then load everything back up. That was my fit for duty test.
Nice.
Okay.
And I'm like, okay. Now, you have to realize I have that compression suit
Sure.
underneath my
Damn,
uniform,
Scuba
You're
Steve
hot
still.
as shit.
underneath my gear, and it's August.
Oh, it's
Worst
hot as
time of
shit,
year,
dude.
dude.
You could pour my bunker boots out of sweat.
I mean, yeah, there's no worse time to be a firefighter on the back of an engine.
Is
In
in August
Texas.
here.
Southeast Texas,
Oh.
August.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
so-
take vacation.
So humid.
yeah, it was just hot, you know. But yeah, no, we made. I guess it was probably my third shift, fourth shift back, something like that. And Ben House was my captain. And
Great guy.
Yeah. So, and he was worried. He was like, "Hey, man, look, they said you can't go anywhere by yourself." I'm like, "Am I a toddler?" It's like you haven't been here that much longer than me,
one of those
man.
fucking
Yeah.
leashes on you. Yeah.
So-
Whoa, Schroeder.
Whoa.
But yeah, we
Yanking
we
you.
make a fire right
Yeah.
there in Old Town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Big
make a
house.
fire. We're first in. Me and Ben go in, and Ben's the whole time. He's like, "Man, you okay? You okay?" And I'm like, "If you leave me alone, I'm gonna be fine."
I'll be fine.
But it was a little bit of a transition.
Sure.
Because it's hot.
Yep.
It's like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
You can't see nothing, and we're crawling through trying to find. And it's like, all right.
How much of that was in your mind at the time? I mean, surely a little bit. You're like, fuck, man.
I mean, most firemen are retarded about it at
Nice,
all.
nice,
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, I did not. That was not. And I told my. So
Anyways.
Touch
I
of the
didn't.
tism.
I honestly didn't think about it because I knew if that weighed on me, I'd never come back.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah,
Right? Because if you
1000%.
think the worst thing going to happen to you, it's going to happen to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you're going to be cautious. But one thing I do when I go up to a house, I look for burglar bars. That
Sure.
is
Yeah.
just like
Yeah, that was one of my questions. Like, what's
Yeah.
one thing that changed? And I figured it would be
that,
fucking
and,
burglar
that,
bars.
and that was it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, we made that fire. It was funny because we make that fire. It was a room and contents. It's hot. I felt all right.
yeah.
Yeah.
45 minutes later, we make another one in the lower woods.
Of course.
Hey, 5 a.m.
Yeah.
We make another one in 10.
3
territory.
for-
We made
Holy
3
shit.
that night.
That's crazy.
And I was like,
It's funny how the world works, man.
Yeah.
It's like it was all right.
Yeah.
It's done.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
You were
And
like
it
Stu.
was.
He was like Stu from The Hangover. We are back.
we are
Yeah.
back.
I am fucking
Yeah.
back.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
shit, man. That's a wild tale, and the fact that your first shift back, fucking, or first couple of shifts
Oh,
back,
yeah.
fire. That's wild as shit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, our damn GoPro battery's about to die, and we gotta call it, man. Still, we're probably over our time.
At 106.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you guys get damn extra content out of this.
yeah.
Well, thanks for coming, though, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do this since those guys in Houston got caught in their deal.
Yeah.
And this is crazy.
We'll have to do
This
it
is
again
great.
because I didn't get to ask any of my questions. Why are you so loud? Did
It's
you-
my voice. It's
Yeah.
the cigarettes.
Did you like rescue me?
Yeah.
It's the coon ass in him.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you still smoke?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
You fucking quitters or pussies,
Hey,
dude.
I got to dip in right now. Makes me feel
yeah,
better.
I noticed he doesn't have a spit or
He
anything.
hasn't
That's
spit
fine.
this whole episode right now. I asked him. I said, do you need a cup? He said, no.
Dude,
No,
the,
good.
the definition of a fireman, Cody Schroeder. Thank you
Cody
for coming,
Schroeder.
man. We
Yeah,
appreciate it.
I
This was-
appreciate it, fellas.
This
Thanks,
was fun.
man. Yeah, this was awesome.
The man with 9 lives.
Dude, yeah.
I mean,
We didn't even talk about him falling.
yeah,
like
we didn't talk
8
about
stories
falling.
or some shit.
Yeah, he fell in the fire academy.
We might need to have him back on.
Yeah, we might
Yeah.
have to have you back.
Yeah.
You guys let us know if you want to see something like this again. This is the first time
Yeah.
we've ever done this before. It was fun as shit.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for being subscribers. Check out
thank y'all.
Patreon. Keep subscribing. Shout it out to a friend. And let us know if you like this.
I want to shout out Project Fire Buddies is normal.
Yeah,
a
Project
great
Fire
organization. If you want to get a chapter going in your department, projectfirebodies.org.
Yep.
They're working on getting us one.
Yep.
We're getting a
Nice.
few roadblocks, but we're going to get it done.
Yeah.
Hell
Hopefully
yeah.
soon.
We're knocking it out.
Yep.
Hell
All right,
yeah.
Yep.
Well, thanks, boys. That was a fun episode. We'll,
Yeah,
we'll
buddy.
catch you guys next time.
Alrighty.
All right.
Later.
See you later.
See y'all later.
Oi.
Schroeder, that's nuts.
That's wild.
so fucking crazy.